and obviously this week it has been big news that the White House has announced that a third shot, a booster shot, is going to be made available for folks who were vaccinated by a Pfizer vaccine or a Moderna vaccine. And we wanted to actually turn to someone who has already had a booster shot. Linda Dahlstrom is joining us now. Linda lives here in Seattle. And Linda, I just wanted to ask you, why did you get a booster shot here this morning? And you know, let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Travis. So nice to be with you. I am somebody who has Crohn's disease, and so that's an autoimmune disease that primarily affects digestive tract. And I've taken medicine for the last more than 20 years. That's kept me really healthy, and I feel so grateful for that. But it also suppresses my immune system. And so that means that when I get sick, sometimes I get really, really sick. My body has a hard time recovering. And it also means that people like me may not always mount a really strong response to vaccines. And so the recommendation came through that those of us who are immune compromised and in sort of specific categories can get the booster that will help just sort of amplify the benefits of the vaccine that we've already gotten for COVID.
So a lot of us have already had the two shots. Those are under our belts, and I felt terrible after the first two, but I'm so glad I'm protected. I just want to ask you, how did you feel after the third shot? Did you feel like you got run over by a truck? Like, what were the after effects like?
No, and it's interesting because I'm kind of on the front end of getting the boosters, and so we haven't seen a lot of data or reporting on what the side effects are like. So I can only speak to me, but for me, I was a little bit fatigued for a day. I got it on Tuesday, and that was really it. I mean, it was kind of the typical sore arm that a lot of us have had when we got the others, but it hasn't been too bad. I was carrying on business as usual.
That's good to hear. I also know that getting vaccinated in general, all vaccinations, that is something that has been really important to you for as long as I've known you. This is really important. Would you tell a little bit about your personal story, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Well, and you're right, Travis, vaccines, I think for me, it has a little bit of a different meaning because I lost a son 16 years ago to meningitis B. His name was Phoenix, and he was a beautiful, sparkly, joyful little boy. And he contracted meningitis B. And at the time, there were no vaccinations available in the United States for that. And he died. And he died actually within 12 hours of his very first symptom. And experiencing that devastation, and I know that you know that. I know that you've lost a child, beautiful Tommy, and you know what that's like to live through something like that. And now there is a vaccine for meningitis B, the strain that killed him. And we've got so many other vaccines. And we know that this year there was a report that came out from UNICEF and World Health Organization last month that shows that childhood vaccinations around the world are really lagging, for the biggest amount in more than a decade. And so I just feel like we live in this time where we have the luxury of not, if a vaccine works well, you don't really know it's working because the thing doesn't happen. But vaccines truly, truly, truly change lives. And so I am really passionate about it. And we know that right now, many of those who are hospitalized and dying and of COVID are the ones who are unvaccinated. And that includes children, unfortunately, who are too young to get vaccinated, of course, as well as adults, as well as people who are immune compromised and may not be mounting as strong of a vaccine. So I just feel like we need to take care of each other. And part of that is getting vaccinated because it helps us protect not just ourselves, but those around us.
Linda, thank you for sharing your personal story with us. It always touches me to get a chance to talk to you. And thanks for the information about the third booster as well and what it's been like for you. I appreciate your time this morning. And I think your message is exactly right. We all need to look out for each other, and that means getting vaccinated. Linda Dahlstrom, thanks for joining us live this morning.
Thanks so much, Travis.